Hello and welcome to Bubble Fruit. Today we're going to take you through creating a very simple logo in Photoshop. What we're going to create is a bubble with some text across the middle, giving a 3D kind of effect with a light source, some shadowing. Very simple to do. The tutorial shouldn't take too long, so we'll crack on. So first thing we need to do is go to File and New. That creates our workspace. We're going to be working in pixels today. Pixels because this logo will be destined for a website. We're going for 500 pixels by 500 pixels, which is slightly bigger than what we're going to need, but downsizing an image is a lot easier than upsizing an image because we won't have problems with pixelization or anything. 300 dots per inch is a nice benchmark to start from. Keeps the image nice and sharp, and we're going to have a white background. Right, we've got our workspace there. So first thing we need to do is to generate a circle. So we're going to use the ellipse tool down here. There's various shapes available on the shapes tool, but we're going to choose the ellipse tool. We're going to create a circle. Or as close as. Okay, we're going to bring that into the workspace, just line that up. As you notice, we've got this grey outline. This is basically the line of the image. We need to take this out. So if we click on the ellipse tool again, and what we're going to do is create a colour in there, but first of all we need to take away, as you see here, as you see the line increasing, we need to take the line out to 0 points. So we want 0 points in here, and it wants to play ball. Okay, 0 points. We're going to take the colour out completely, so we've got no colour at all as an outline tool. We want to create something which has got a 3D kind of look to it. So we need something which can give that a light source with some shadow. So gradient is a great tool to use. With gradient, it goes from one shade to another. You can see here by default here it's gone black to white. Using these colour stops at the bottom, if you double click on them, it brings up the colour palette, allows you to pick a colour. So we're going to go for red as one end of the gradient. Click the other colour stop crayon, and we're going to go for black because that's a kind of shadow look. Now we can move this centre point more towards the black, and effectively what that does, that gives us a whoops, I've gone wrong here. Let's go back again. Just add them back in. Okay. What this does, this gives us more of a more red and less black. As you can see, the shadow there. We want a bit more shadow. Not doing very well today, am I? Okay. Good thing about Photoshop, when you cock up like that, you've got the edit step backwards. So you go back a stage. So we want to fill this ellipse with not a solid colour but gradient. So we start again. We go on the colour stop. We click red. The other end of the scale we want black as our shadow. That's probably about 50% there. Looks fairly good. Let's go a little bit more that way, and that gives us a shadow. We want to bring that shadow down to this area here. So we can use this tool here which will set the angle of the gradient. So that gives us a nice little shading at the bottom. So we have a light source coming from this angle here, giving us a shadow effect here. So that's completed that. Now we want a small light source here, something to give a little bit of reflection here, to give the to give some kind of definition to this shaded area here. So simple, we just go back to the ellipse tool again. We create a smaller circle, which will be effectively like a reflection, a light bounce. Okay, we fill that with a solid colour of white. So we go to the solid colour here and we select white. We can then move that to an appropriate position, say about there. Now obviously it doesn't look very good because it's a solid colour, so we need to give that a reflective kind of look. So a good tool to use there is one of the filter tools, and we go to blur, and let's go to lens blur. There's various, you can play around with the different versions of blur here, they give different effects. So I like the lens blur here. As we do that, you can just probably see on your screens there the reflective kind of source that it gives. So press OK, and there we have effectively what we've done is blurred that image, so we've got a more solid in the middle fading out to the outside, so it gives us a kind of a reflective light. Okay, so the graphics are done. We just need to add some text, so we go to the text tool here. Up here we can change the colour of our text tool, so we're going to go for text colour of white, and we're going to type in here logo. Okay, so I'll move the logo into position. With the text tool highlighted and highlighting the logo, I can change the font here, so I'm going to take it from italic to bold, I think. Yep, and that's probably a good size as well. We can resize here as well, you know, make it slightly larger if you want. So we're going to go down to 30 points. Okay, we put our logo in position. We need to curve the logo so it looks like it's going around the edge of the ball. So again, we select the text tool here, and up here we have a create warped text. If we click onto this, it allows us to pick various warp sort of definitions to the image. So we're going to go for an inflate, so it looks like the logo is coming out to us and bending round. We can change the bend angle here, so it's just a matter of playing around and getting that kind of look you want. I think that looks good enough. Click OK. So we have a slightly wrapped logo around there. If we then, because we've got that layer selected at the moment with logo in, if we go up to layer and then we go to layer style and drop shadow, that allows us to put a shadow around the text there. We can set the distance, the speed and the size of that shadow, setting the same angle as this light source here, so it looks like that the shadowing's coming from this light source here. And basically once you've set the shadow effect just how you'd like it, click OK, and there's your image, there's your logo. If it's for a website, save it as a JPEG, reduce it, save it as a JPEG. It's always best to keep a copy, what you call a PSD copy, which is a Photoshop file. This basically allows you to keep the layer, so if you need to go back in and change things or alter the text, you can do so. I hope that helped. If you need any more help or any advice on website design, development or graphic